Is it time to take our prepping up another notch? Hey guys, it's Jara with Wicked Prepared. Thank you for joining us on the channel today. We're glad you're here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, maybe the thumbs up while you're down there. And if you want to be sure to catch all our content, ring the little bell for notifications. I've got another prepper pantry haul for you today. If you've been following our hauls for a while, you may have noticed that lately we've been adding more of what I call our level 3 preps. In my head, I organized preps into 3 levels. Level 1 are things you definitely need in your everyday life, and you'll definitely use them no matter what happens. Things like food, water, batteries, basic medical and first aid items. When you prep, you're building an advanced supply of these things, but it's easy to justify because as long as you're smart and somewhat organized about it, you'll eventually use these items and nothing will go to waste, emergency or not. And you'll save yourself time and money in the process. Your level 2 preps are things you may not use in your everyday life, but you can definitely get some use out of them, especially if you have any interest in outdoor recreation or self-sufficient living. These are things such as propane or butane stoves or heaters, hiking backpacks, water filters, maybe canning supplies, these kind of things. A lot of our preps are one and the same with our camping and backpacking gear. If you enjoy these or other similar activities, you will get use out of these preps. I would go so far as to say if you don't already partake in these things, maybe you should give it a try. You might find it to be something you enjoy. They're great ways to relax and build memories. You'll get practice using your off-grid gear, and you'll keep your alternative fuels rotated. Nothing will be just sitting there getting rusty. Now, your level 3 preps. These are the things we buy and pray we never have to use. This is a time when we actually hope we're wasting our money. These items really don't have any practical purpose outside of their intended use in a life-threatening emergency. This would be things like potassium iodide pills. Things like tourniquets, for example. Maybe whatever you carry for self-defense, whether it be pepper spray, a stun gun, or something a little stronger. You hope you never have to use it for its intended purpose, but if you ever need it, you'll be damn glad you have it. Gas masks, hazmat suits, there's really nothing else these could be used for, except maybe a conversation piece, an interesting relic to hand down to your children, or a really cool Halloween costume. These are your level 3 preps. So for this reason, if you're just beginning your preparedness journey, you definitely want to start with your level 1 preps. These things you will need in a lot of higher likelihood scenarios. As you start to get that first level taken care of, you can start to add in your level 2 preps. And at some point you start to feel like, okay, I'm kind of set with this stuff. I'm pretty well set up, or at least I'm better off than a lot of other people. And then you want to move on to the next level. Or maybe you start to feel like some of those far off scenarios are a little bit more probable now and a little bit closer than maybe they were before. That's when you start prioritizing some of those level 3 preps because they can be a little more spendy than a lot of other preps. The likelihood that you'll need them is smaller, but it seems to be looming larger every day. And if you ever should need them, these items could be lifesavers. So let's see what we added to our preps this week. We've got some level 1 items, some level 3 items, and everything in between. So here's an overview of everything that I got. So I'm going to start with this stuff over here. Now usually I try to divide my things by food and non-food, but this week I had such an assortment I decided to sort it out by what store or website it came from. So this is my Amazon purchases. This is mostly from a subscribe and save. Now this right here is the ThyroSafe potassium iodide tablets that I talked about in my last haul because they'd gone missing in shipping and I wasn't sure they would show up, but they did. So that's good. These are a 65 milligram potassium iodide tablet. The other common brand is Iosat, and that's a 130 milligram. Now these have become kind of hard to come by, but you're still able to find them. I'll put some links down in the description for anyone who's looking. This is a good thing to have on hand in case of a nuclear emergency. I'm trying to just build up and refresh our supply. And I'd also like to put together some small emergency kits for my older children who aren't always close to home that are very specifically geared towards a nuclear emergency. So I definitely wanted to include some of these products in there. Now I have a close family contact, we'll say, who works for the state CDC, and their area of expertise is actually radiation safety. So as you can imagine, I've been bouncing a lot of questions off them, and what I found out is that the government is in sort of the same situation as a lot of civilians are with a mostly expired supply of potassium iodide and unable to find new fresh supply at a reasonable price. So I know you sometimes read that you don't need to stockpile this yourself because if you ever need it, the government will supply it to you. But if there is ever an occasion when you would actually need this, you're not going to have a very long window of opportunity. This needs to be taken quickly. And if you think that the government is going to be able to organize themselves to get this to every person that would need it in an appropriate amount of time, well, I certainly wouldn't want to bet my life on that. So the next thing I got from Amazon were these 2032 CR2032 batteries. This was just a cheap brand, but it got really good reviews, and I wanted to try these out because they're cheaper than what I usually get. So I'm going to give these a try and see how they are. Now these are Bear apple chips, cinnamon apple chips. My kids love these, one of my daughters specifically, and I sometimes have a hard time finding any kind of apple chips around here. So I did pick these up on Amazon because it was at least as good of a deal as I've ever found around here. It's a 6-pack. The rest of the box is back here. I just took one out to show. And these have a shelf life of about at least 6 months. And of course, I'm sure they would last a lot longer than that. But so you can count on stocking at least a few months worth of these type of snacks. And then I got a case of these ranch style beans. Now these I'm usually not able to find really in my area. And I do have a few recipes that call for them, sort of like, 7-can soup type of recipes. And so I wanted to grab a case from Amazon. It was a pretty good price. And like I said, I can't usually find them in my area. So let me know if you guys have tried these ranch style beans, what you use them for, how you like them. Let me know down in the comments. And the next thing I got from Amazon was this set. They had a pretty good sale going on L'Oreal products. And this shampoo and conditioner is something that we have used before and liked. And then this was something that I hadn't tried, but it was a good deal for that pack. It came as a pack, so I grabbed one of those. And then this boron, this is a new supplement that we are trying. This is really supposed to help with joint pain and tendon pain and even really severe arthritis. And so we were going to try this and see how this works for us. Now this Allocaine emergency burn gel, I have gotten this before. I'm just getting another pack. There are 24 in here, and I like to stash these in a lot of my little emergency kits, like my travel first aid kits. I believe I have some of this in my trauma kit. I just wanted to grab another one of these on Subscribe and Save. It was a good price. And then I did get some of these, I got a couple of these waterproof match cases with waterproof matches. One of them has already gone into my emergency off-grid cooking kit. You might have seen that video. If you haven't checked that out yet, I will put a card up here in the corner. But I got a couple of these and then also some extra waterproof matches for refills. And then this was a 3-pack of these Curad finger and knuckle bandages. We like to keep plenty of Band-Aids and bandages around, and we do use these finger knuckle ones quite a bit. They're pretty useful. So I got this 3-pack. This Ester C was actually recommended to me by a viewer, and it's got the sort of extended release, so it's supposed to be good for all day, and so I decided I would try this. So thank you to whoever recommended this to us. And then this Advil right here, these are the individual packets. There's 50 individual packets in here. I was buying this at Dollar Tree, and even at $1, I finally realized that on Amazon, this 50-pack was a better deal. And now, of course, Dollar Tree has raised their prices. So I get these just to put into really small, you can keep a packet in your wallet. I give my kids their little travel first aid kits that they keep in their backpacks for school. They usually have a few packets of these in there. These are handy for all sorts of things like this. And next I got 3 cartons of this seafood stock. I've never tried this brand before, but I got a really good deal a while back on some at Walmart that was on clearance, a different brand, and I bought a whole bunch of them. And I use this when I make fish chowder. And so I was running low, so I decided to try these. This was a good price on Amazon. Now this is my Thrive Life order for this month. Now I might place another small order before the month is over, I'm not sure, but this is what I got to start with. I got 4 of the Snackies bags. I've been waiting for these to come back in stock. Now Thrive has been just inundated. They've been overwhelmed because the demand has gone through the roof for this stuff, and it just keeps going up. Ever since the pandemic started, and now with everything going on, everyone is scrambling to buy this food, so they've had things out of stock, and it's just like the regular grocery store. When you see something you want come back in stock, you need to grab it. So I grabbed some of these Snackies bags. The Snackies bags are actually even more economical than buying the big cans, and they're a good way to try out certain items that are available in these bags before you commit to a big can and make sure that you like it. But I also like to have these on hand just for the kids to grab and pack for snacks. So the big trade-off on the Snackies bags versus the cans is that they don't have the 25-year shelf life that the cans have. But I was surprised to see these actually do have over a 2-year shelf life. I thought it was a year. but we go through these much more quickly. So I got a bag of pineapple, and then I got 3 bags of the bananas, because these are one of my kids' absolute favorites, and they've been out of stock for a while in the bags. I've been able to get them in the cans. And then the next thing that I got was a can of broccoli and a can of pulled pork, the large family cans. Now, when I do my monthly order through Thrive Life, I always start with the sale flyer, and I pick a couple of things usually that have the highest level of discount, and I try to focus on things that are not easy to find in other forms for your food storage. For example, broccoli. You really can't get canned broccoli. So other than growing it fresh in your garden, freeze-dried is really the only way to have this in your long-term storage, and it's amazing. And then with the pork, freeze-dried meats really are so much better than their canned counterparts. The texture is better, the flavor is better, everything is better. So this is really the best way to store meat for long term, and because it can be more expensive, I always try to grab what is on sale and stock up that way. Because just like with your regular groceries, meats are going to be a lot more expensive than, say, corn and apples and those type of things. So I make sure to grab those when they're on sale. Now, if you've been thinking about trying Thrive Life and you just haven't already, March is a great month to start, because they have a promotion going this month where anyone who places their first delivery order, as long as it's at least $50, they will get 2 coupons for April and May for $10 off each order. Now, that's a really great deal. I have a friend who jumped in. She'd been wanting to try Thrive Life, and she finally decided that was the time to do it. So she jumped in on that deal, and she actually took advantage of another deal that they have, and she ordered the monthly specials pack, which is basically one of every single item that's on sale that month. And they give it to you at 30% off, which is an even higher discount than the sale prices. Now, when you do that, you get the pantry cans, which are the smaller cans, but that's a really great way to try a large variety of foods in a short amount of time. So she just got her pack yesterday, and she has been thrilled with what she's tried so far, and she was so excited. She messaged me saying that she was so excited that her little girl was begging her to sit there and eat fruits and vegetables for a snack. So she was definitely very happy to have taken advantage of that deal. Now, if you're more of a go big kind of person, Thrive Life does offer 1 month and 3 month supply packs. And their packs are different than a lot of these other survival food companies because they don't have a lot of fillers. If you look at a lot of these companies, you're going to be getting packets of, rice and veggies with maybe a little bit of chicken or oatmeal, or, these are really cheap fillers. If you do Thrive Life's packs, they give just fruits, vegetables, dairy, and protein, pure, no fillers. So you know me, I prefer to stock up little by little, but some people just want an easy one and done kind of solution, and they like to go for the big packs. In any event, if you are interested in checking out Thrive Life, then I will put a link down in the description below. So the next thing that we added to our prepper pantry this week is this maple syrup. Now, of course, this is not something that I bought. We actually made this, but this is over 3 gallons of homemade maple syrup right off of our property. I just wanted to show you guys what we've been working on. It's really interesting because you can see that as the season goes on, the syrup gets darker and darker. This is kind of what we made earlier in the season, later and later. So this is actually over 3 gallons of real pure maple syrup, and it doesn't even include what we've already eaten. If you want to see a video on how we do this, I will put a card right up here in the corner for you to check out. So the next thing that we added to our preps this week is this EMP shield, and I am pretty excited about this. Now, this is definitely one of our level 3 preps like I was talking about earlier. Here inside the box, it says, one, coolest thing made in Kansas. And that is honestly one of the things that we love about this product, is that it's completely made in the USA. So what this is and what this does basically is this hooks into your home's electrical system, and it basically protects your home's electrical system and anything plugged into it from an EMP strike. It protects it from a coronal mass ejection, a solar flare. It protects it from lightning strikes. That was what really sold me. When I found out that it could protect my home from lightning strikes and save my home from bursting into flames, I was definitely sold. Now, we will have a video coming up. Mr. Wicked Prepared is going to do a video all about how to install these and how they work. And he has done a video about what an EMP actually is, and he's got another one in the works. Now, I've got to admit, and I feel a little silly saying this, but when I first heard about EMP Shield, I thought it basically plugged into your house and turned your whole house into a giant Faraday cage. Well, that's not exactly how it works. The EMP Shield will protect your home's electrical system, and it will protect anything that's plugged into it. And they do guarantee that with a $25,000 insurance policy. But you would still have to protect certain other items inside of your home, say radios and standalone items like that. This company also has units that will protect your vehicle, which is pretty important. We're going to probably be getting one of those. I was just talking with a friend of mine who was so worried about if something were to happen, like an EMP strike, and she was not at home and near her child, how would she get her child? If you could save your vehicle, even just to be able to get your family back together in the first few hours after something happened, that would be priceless. So we're definitely super excited to be adding this to our home and to our preps. And stay tuned for more videos about this and how to install it in your home. We'll have a link down in the description box if you want to go check out this company and see what they offer and what their products do. Now this next batch of preps is from Walmart. To start with, this is just a little bottle of acetaminophen. I am going to be doing a big restock on our ibuprofen and acetaminophen, but it's going to be coming from our warehouse club. But I just picked this up because my daughter wanted some of the easy swallow type. I got a couple of cans of Keystone pork. Now the Keystone meats are pretty good to have for a canned meat. They're a little bit expensive, but just make sure that you don't pay more than $7, $8 per large can tops. Sometimes you can find them, sometimes you can't. I've gotten them from Amazon and I've gotten them from Walmart, just depending on what I can find and when. I try to pick up a few cans now and then. Now I did get 4 of these Kraft Spaghetti Classics to try. These are kind of cute. That's a box just like macaroni and cheese. And my son loves Kraft macaroni and cheese and he loves spaghetti, so I'm wondering if this would be something he would like. These were never on my radar. I mean, I'm sure I've seen them, but never thought twice about them until I saw someone talking about them in one of the groups that I'm in, and then I decided I would want to try them. I can't imagine it's actually any easier or more economical than just buying spaghetti and sauce, but I thought we would give it a try. You use a can of tomato paste, and that's it, with what's in the box and some water. And then, of course, I did get just a few cans of Campbell's soup. I got tomato bisque and cream of chicken with herbs. I only got 2 of each can this time, but I may end up buying a case from Amazon. I have one recipe that calls for both of these cans, and my daughter picked that recipe out the other night and decided she wanted us to make that. So I grabbed these cans to have. I swear I'm like a 50s housewife reincarnated. I love cooking with Campbell's soup. Or maybe it's a Maine thing. I don't know. How many of you out there love cooking with Campbell's soup? And then behind that, I have just a couple of cans of mixed vegetables and chicken gravy. I'm working on putting together some more emergency meal kits, and this is just for one of the recipes that I'm trying out. So I just got 2 of each. And then I got 4 jars of the salsa con queso. If you saw the recipe I did the other day for the cheesy enchilada chili that was made completely with pantry staples, this was the secret ingredient in that chili, a salsa con queso, and it came out really good. So I decided to get a few more jars because this has a shelf life of almost a year, and I'm sure it would be good for longer than that. And this can be a good way to add some cheesiness into recipes. Next, I did get a couple of small things of petroleum jelly. Now, these weren't actually as small as I had hoped they would be. I bought these hoping for something that I could add into some small fire starting kits. So I really wanted really, really small containers, and I ordered these through the app, so I didn't get to see them in person. So they're not as small as I thought they would be, and they're the smallest I could find, so I'm probably going to be just repackaging some of this into some little tubs. And then, of course, I got another package of plastic forks. We need to have disposables on hand for emergencies, and we go through these forks pretty fast. And then I did get 2 cases. I lucked out. I have not seen cat food like this in our store in so long. I was shocked when I found this on the shelves. I did learn how to make my own canned cat food. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll stick a card up here in the corner. But this is definitely easier. So I decided to grab these 2 cases of, these are the larger cans in here, and then this is 1 flat of the small cans. Now, it's important to prep for our pets, and prepping dry food for them can be difficult. I've never been able to stock enough to last more than a few months, but I've talked to some people who have stocked it longer, and they said even with Mylar and oxygen absorbers, they weren't able to keep it up to a year without it going rancid. So cans really is the way to go with pet food, because just like our food, it'll stay fresh a lot longer in the cans. So over here I've got some stuff from Dollar Tree, or ours is now $1.25 Tree. Is there anybody out there whose Dollar Tree has not gone up to $1.25 yet? Anyhow, I did grab one of their can openers. Now, you know I'm a fan of the cheap can openers at Walmart. I know they're going to fail, but I just buy lots of them, and I keep buying them. So I figured I would try this Dollar Tree can opener because it's cheaper than the cheap can openers at Walmart. But let me know if anybody out there has a favorite can opener that they love, especially if it's one that's long-lasting, because I'm thinking it's about time for me to upgrade. And next I got some more of those CR2032 batteries. These are the Dollar Tree ones. I just thought I would compare these couple different cheaper options. And then these are some new snack stick kind of dog tooth treats that I decided to try. I've never tried these before, but I just got one of each flavor to try. And of course, I got a ton of these because these I have used before. I buy a ton of these whenever I find them at Dollar Tree. I like that they're Purina, that they're a brand that I recognize, and my dogs love them. And of course, the vet says that I should give the dogs one dental treat every day, and with 5 dogs, that really adds up. So I grab these at Dollar Tree whenever I can. And next I got this one lonely jar of Chicken a la King. I don't like to buy just one jar of anything, but I think I had it in my mind that I would buy. So this was a great deal at Dollar Tree when it was $1. And even at $1.25, it's still a better deal than someplace like Walmart. So I had in mind that I would stock up on some more of it, and I went and I only found 1 can. So that's why I grabbed that one lonely can. And then of course behind that, I've got 2 of the Gosner shelf-stable whole milk. We love those shelf-stable milk cartons, and even at $1.25, they're still a better deal than anywhere else I've found. And these are a couple of 3 jars because there were 3 different flavors. These were at Dollar Tree. You don't often, or at least I don't often, find spaghetti sauce in glass jars at our Dollar Tree. Usually they have the Hunts in the cans, but we do not like those. So I have found it in a jar one time before. It was a different brand. I bought one to try, and we thought it was okay for $1, and then I never found it again. So I bought one of each flavor of these, and hopefully if we do like it, they'll still have more for me to stock up on. Now these are actually from the Asian market. Now thank you to the viewer who clued me into buying butane at the Asian market. That makes so much sense. I can't believe I never realized it before. Now I did get to go to one Asian market. It's not the one that I usually go to because we don't have one any closer than an hour to our home, which is kind of sad for me. But this particular one I had never been to before, and their prices did not seem as good as the one I usually go to. Of course, I haven't been there in a while, so I don't know if they've just had to raise their prices like, everyone else has. But so these were, I can't remember what I paid for them, but they weren't as good as I was hoping, so I only got 6 of them. But I was super excited to find these at the Asian market, and thank you. I think it was Liz who told me about that. And now these are just a few things that I picked up from a Save-A-Lot. This is, I got quite a few of these fajita seasonings. I think I got about 10 of them. I use these a lot. I really like their fajita seasoning, and it's super cheap. It's less than 50 cents a packet, and I usually use at least 2 packets when I use it. And it's handy for all sorts of things. I could do a fajita style meal in a jar and use this as seasoning. So I got 10 of those. And then I did get, we like the mushroom gravy, so I got several of those and a few of the pork to try because we've never tried that. These are just handy to have on hand. They can help with a quick meal, and if you're not going to make gravy from scratch. And they're good to have for storage because they're a lot easier to store a dry mix, obviously, than gravy in a jar or a can. And then the next bunch of stuff is stuff that I got from BJ's, which is our wholesale club here in Maine. I don't know how widespread BJ's is. Let me know in the comments if you have a BJ's where you live. But I've had to reevaluate my price points on things because the prices have changed so much and gone up. It used to be cheapest for me to buy most of my paper products at Walmart, and I just did the prices again, and now it is definitely cheaper for me to buy these at BJ's. These are the small paper bowls, and then behind this I have the small paper plates, the smallest ones that we use. I buy small bowls and big bowls, and I buy small, medium, and large plates just because I don't want to pull out a large paper plate if it's just a kid having a sandwich or something. So I stocked up on some of those. Those were out of stock, incidentally, for quite a while, and I finally saw them come back in stock, so I grabbed them. And then I got 2 more jars of these marinated artichoke hearts. I love these. I just used up a jar, and I try to use a policy of use 1 and buy 2 when I'm trying to build up my stock of something. I would have bought more of these if there was a coupon, but there's not a coupon right now, so I only bought the 2. And then I bought one of their big Parmesan cheese. Now the shelf life on this is about 6 months, but it'll last longer than that. I have one right now that I'm using that is quite a few months past its expiration date, and the colors changed a little bit. It got a little bit darker in color, and it's a little bit clumpier, but other than that, it's absolutely fine. Next are some really good deals. I think they were clearance deals that I found at BJ's. This Burt's Bees. I love Burt's Bees. Last haul, I think I had some that I picked up on Amazon. And I know I said I don't use chapstick really anymore now that I use Lip Sense, which is true. But my kids use this. Everybody else in the household uses this. And so this was a great deal. This was $7.98 for 8 of them. And considering that one of them is now over $3 in a single pack at Walmart, this was a great deal. And these Wet Ones antibacterial wipes, this was another great deal. This is 50 count travel packs, 3 of them. This is a pretty big box. So if those are travel packs, they're pretty big. But this was marked down to 98 cents. So that was kind of a no-brainer. And next were these shampoos and conditioners. Now these are the ones that we've been getting at Walmart that I said we really liked, the Suave, which is nice to find a cheap brand that we actually really like. And these are about $4 at Walmart, and these are 28 ounces. Now I found these packs at BJ's. These are 2 packs, and it's a shampoo and a conditioner, and they're 40-ounce bottles, and these were marked down on clearance to $6.49. So the fact that I pay $4 for one of these smaller bottles to get these 2 larger bottles for $6.50 was amazing. Now I do usually like to buy more conditioner than I do shampoo because we run out of the conditioner a lot more quickly. But in this case, this was just a great deal, so I'm happy with that. And then the last few things that I have over here are actually from Walmart. I just stuck them over in this corner because they were big and bulky and it was the only place I could fit them. But these are the fabric softeners that I buy a lot because they're super cheap. This is a huge bottle and it's about $4. I think it's gone up in the store, but it's still $4 if I buy it through the app. So, and what I'm trying to train myself to do now is write the date that I purchased these things on the bottle, because things like cleaning supplies don't come with expiration dates. And when I'm rotating things, sometimes if I get a little confused, I just want to make sure that I can keep them in the order I bought them so something doesn't get shoved to the back and forgotten. Although I have accidentally lost track of a couple of bottles of detergent and they sat in a corner of the basement for years. And when I found them and cleaned the dust off, I didn't know how they would be, but they were absolutely fine. So I'm not too worried about it, but I do like to keep the dates that I purchased them, just so it's easier for me to keep them in order if something happens and they get out of line. Now this Sun detergent I am trying because I'm just trying to find cheaper options since prices have gone up so much. And so I've been going to the website and kind of sorting things by price and checking out for cheaper options that I might not have thought of. Sometimes you can find clearance deals that way. So I saw these Sun, and I've seen this at the store, and I've always just dismissed it because I thought it was probably not a very good detergent because it is very cheap. But I looked and it had tons of good reviews. People said that even though it was not very expensive, it was actually really good. And so I thought it was worth giving it a try. So I bought one of each, scent that they had at my store. There's that one. And this one. So I'm going to give these a try because if I could stock up on cheaper detergent, that would be really awesome. All right, guys, that's everything that we've added to our preps this week. I hope maybe you got some good ideas or learned a little something from this video. If there's anything that you want to know more about, check the description box down below. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what level of preps you're working on. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you made it all the way to the end of the video, leave me a lightning bolt emoji down in the comments. I'm Jara with Wicked Prepared. Survive today, thrive tomorrow. We'll see you next time.